Welcome to tutorial number 25 of the blog marketing series. My name is Phil Ayers, your host, and I'm here to talk with you today about the other search engines. We always talk about Google. It seems like everybody's always saying Google, 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 Google. Well, there are other search engines out there, but I would not spend much time focusing on those other search engines. And you might say, well, there's a lot of traffic on those search engines like Yahoo and MSN. But the bottom line is, if you're optimizing for Google, you're probably doing what you need to do to optimize on the other search engines. And I certainly would not sacrifice my presence on Google for any strategy directed exclusively toward Yahoo or MSN. So I really wouldn't worry too much about it. I just want to give you some quick information that might be helpful about the other search engines. As far as Yahoo, MSN, and other search engines, I would highly recommend for your own intellectual knowledge a book by John Battelle, and it is called Search. And what it is, it's a history of search engines, because you see how this whole search engine industry has evolved in this book over the course of the last 10 years. So it takes, it goes all the way back to search engines like Lycos and WebCrawler and AltaVista and some of the other search engines that have been around since the beginning. So you see how search has become such an integral part of the internet and how people find websites. But that's an aside. But I point that out to say that Yahoo was not initially started as a search engine. It was started as a directory. And over time, the growing pains that they've experienced and the problems that they've experienced have primarily been directed toward the fact that search has become so important, yet they initially started as a directory company. That's just my opinion, my 2 cents on that. But if you're optimizing for Google, you're doing a good job, probably, with Yahoo and MSN. And in a previous tutorial, we talked about how once you get your blog, your WordPress blog up and going, you need to publish a sitemap, and that's one of the things that Google wants. They want an XML-based sitemap. Well, up until about 4 or 5 months ago, at the end of 2006, Yahoo required you to have an HTML-based sitemap. Well, a lot of people just don't want to do that anymore. So they broke down, eventually complied with Google. So now, if you have an XML-based sitemap for Google, you're fine with Yahoo. So, and I wouldn't spend too much time worrying about MSN either. And if you go to searchenginewatch.com, you will be able to see the total amount of traffic that each of these search engines attracts. And if you have Yahoo, Google, and MSN covered, and I would keep track, by the way, as an aside, I would keep track of my rankings in each of the other, in Yahoo, MSN, and Google. I don't want to belittle MSN and Yahoo because there is some significant traffic from those search engines. But if you have Yahoo, MSN, and Google covered, you're going to be fine. And as far as the other search engines, I really wouldn't even worry about those. And like I've told you in previous tutorials, you have people out there that want to sell you products that will enable you to register with 50 different search engines or 100 different search engines for $50, and those are just an absolute waste of money, because the traffic, or the percentage of traffic that goes through those search engines, is minimal compared with Yahoo, Google, MSN. So don't worry about those. Don't get wrapped around the axle on minor search engines. Just know that you need to be thinking about Yahoo and MSN in your placement, and it will interest you over time as you're looking at your search engine rankings for Yahoo and MSN and Google. It will amaze you how your rank will be different. It appears that, at least from my experience, MSN and Yahoo give a whole lot more favorability to on-page optimization factors, meaning adjustment of header tags, title tags, etc. I've in the past I have, and particularly MSN, I've made changes to blogs and websites where I modified or added a header tag or changed a title tag, and it shot me up to the search engine ranking or top of search engine rankings within a day or two. So, whereas with Google, as we talked about, Google is all about links, so it takes time. Over time, you will build the number of links up that you need in order to get to the top of Google, but it does take a lot of time. Whereas with MSN, it amazes me how fast you can actually get to the top search engine rankings. It seems like Yahoo is moving much more toward a link-based structure, and even a content link-based. Google and Yahoo are moving more toward the content-based link structure. For example, if you are buying text links, make sure that you buy text links for blogs and websites that have content that's similar to yours. So keep that in mind too. Content-based links are actually on the rise, even with Yahoo. And that's all we have time for today. Look forward to seeing you on the next tutorial.